Okay, you can't tell me this video is late because technically I'm still filming in June. Will I be posting it in July? Yes, but that's still like halfway through the year. And to be fair, I didn't start reading until like May. So this is like my 2-month freakout tag, not my mid-year freakout tag. So you know what? It's good. Just roll with it. Hi, my name is Elise, and this is my mid-year freakout tag. If you don't know what that is, and if you somehow missed out on everyone posting this video, it's basically a tag where you reflect on books that you have read throughout the first half of the year. And like I said in my introduction, I really only started reading again, pick up reading again, about 2 months ago, so I'll just work with what books I have. This is really only a reflection of May and June's books, but you know what? I read a lot of good stuff then, so I think it works out. For my freakout tag, I was tagged by Chelsea from FableFeels, who I will link down below, and you should definitely check her out. I have been watching her videos. I've always loved her content. She has such a fun, bubbly personality, and she's so supportive and loves books, obviously, but she's very passionate with the way she talks about it, so I love her channel. And the other person I was tagged by is Gaby from Gaby's Bookish Corner, who I will also be tagging down below. Gaby is wonderful. I just told her this recently, but I actually started my channel because of her. I watched her booktube newbie tag. That was great, and I talked to her on Twitter. She ended up being great. She's a friend of mine now, and yeah, she's the one who encouraged me to make this channel. So I'm here today because of her, so you should subscribe to her and also Chelsea. So the first question for this tag is, what is the best book you read in 2020? And again, this is only over like the past 2 months for me, but I am choosing Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. It is about a girl named Frances, and she is, you know, kind of a loner, really obsessed with school. She just wants to get into her top college so bad. She works so hard, and the one thing that's her like relaxing hobby thing is she listens to this podcast. It is an interesting book because it's YA contemporary fiction that has many diverse characters. Like the main character, Frances, she is bisexual and biracial. She has other friends that are of different sexualities and races, and I mean like a lot, not just like here's the token character of color. Like there is great representation in this book, but what I really liked about it is it wasn't a romance. This was a book focused on friendship and discovering oneself and just navigating through adolescence and all of that. And I just really liked that there could be conversations about race and sexuality and family / home life and friendship and all of that, but like it didn't rely on romance to make that impactful. It was so well done, and I loved it so much, and it just felt like something very refreshing in the YA LGBT / contemporary, this that kind of genre. So I would definitely recommend that. I'm going to recommend a lot of Alice Oseman books today, and I have been in lots of my videos, so I apologize if you've been watching and you've just heard me going, Alice Oseman this and that, blah, blah, blah. But if I haven't convinced you yet to read her books, then maybe this will be the video. Next is best sequel you've read in 2020, and you guessed it, I chose an Alice Oseman book. The sequel I am choosing is Heartstopper Volume 2 and 3. I would choose Volume 1, but that's not a sequel. But actually, I did like the sequels better. So Heartstopper, yes, I've mentioned this in like 2 other videos of mine, but if you still don't know, it's a graphic novel, and it's an LGBT graphic novel. There's, again, lots of diversity, lots of representation, but the 2 main characters, Nick and Charlie, they are in high school. One of them is out as gay, the other one is still discovering his identity and eventually comes out as bisexual, and they are very opposite kind of people. What I appreciated about Heartstopper is, while it did explore those feelings, like the idea of being in a same-sex relationship wasn't this like terrible, horrible obstacle they had to overcome and accept. It was It was well done. I'm gonna stop blabbing about Heartstopper. I'm sorry. It's not even a long graphic novel. You just breeze through it, and I'm sitting here. I'm already 10 minutes into filming, and I've literally only talked about 2 books. I'm gonna move on. I'm sorry. And the next question is new release that you haven't read but want to, and I apologize, I need my laptop for this because I know the new releases I want to read, but I have no idea what they're about. So we're just gonna look at the Goodreads summary blurb thingy. So I chose 2 books for this: Parachutes by Kelly Yang and Late to the Party by Kelly Quinlan. No, I don't really know what they're about. I just heard they were good and I like the covers. But again, let me look at the Goodreads summary. Okay, so so I thought this book was sapphic. I'm not sure anymore. It looks like maybe there's a side character, or I don't know, it doesn't look like it's a big deal. I thought it was, but it's about 2 girls navigating wealth, power, friendship, and trauma. I don't even know what the rest of the book is about, but like that's enough for me to want to read it. But Late to the Party, that one I definitely did. It was something like I looked for and stumbled upon this title, but it says it is it's a deeply relatable story about friendship, self-acceptance, and what it means to be a real teenager. And it says it is an ode to late bloomers and wallflowers everywhere. Did you mean me? I definitely plan to read that this year because that is something I've been looking for a long time. The next question is the most anticipated release for you for the second half of the year, and I just realized I've been filming forever, so I'm gonna speed it up because I'm going to bore you to death. But no surprise, my most anticipated release for the second half of the year is an Alice Oseman book. It is called Loveless, and I was so intrigued by the premise. It's about a girl, Georgia, and she's never had a crush before on anyone, no boys, no girls, no one. I think she's going off to university, and she has a plan to find romance. She's ready to go find that part of her life, but it causes problems with her friends, and like the last part of the summary says, is she destined to be loveless or something like that? And I'm pretty sure Alice Oseman confirmed that the main character is asexual, and I'm pretty sure Alice Oseman is too, so this is an Own Voices book, I'm pretty sure. Super excited for that one. I've already pre-ordered it. It's coming out in July, I think July 9th. I am really looking forward to this one because if there's one thing I love about Alice Oseman, it's her ability to take people and groups and stuff that are usually very underrepresented, whatever, in fiction. So I'm really looking forward to that one, and as every single novel that she produces, it just gets better and better. So this is her 4th one, and I'm sure it's gonna be great. And I'm just gonna say one more book I am looking forward to for the second half of the year is Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. It is about a boy, he is Latino, something about, I just looked at the summary, let's see if I remember. He is Latino, and I think he has to like, one second, I don't remember. He has to find the ghost of his murdered cousin and set it free. Again, I don't know much else about it, but I know it's an LGBT book. Again, I don't know exactly in what way because I haven't read it. I'm gonna assume that means the main character. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that one. It sounds so interesting and not something I typically read. So yeah, looking forward to both of those. Question number 5 is your biggest disappointment for the first half of 2020, and I am going with Tosh Hearts Tolstoy by Catherine Ormsby. I think that's her name. Sorry. But I read it because the main character is confirmed asexual. She mentions this in the book. It is definitely a big plot point in the book, and I feel like that's such a hard identity to find in books, so I was looking forward to this one, but I just really did not like this story at all. It is about a girl and her friends, and they have like, I think it's a YouTube channel, and it becomes viral, and they have to do all this filming and this and that, and it becomes, you know, stressful because they're so popular, and there's arguments about the friendship and this and that, and the main character Tosh She has like a online YouTuber friend person, and you know, they get to meet and it's not what she expected and this and that, but it just wasn't for me. I thought it was super boring. I did appreciate the very like blatant conversations about being asexual. Like it was no like skirting around or anything. Like it was mentioned in the book, it was discussed, it was she interacted with characters and you saw the response to them or response to her. But yeah, that was definitely not my favorite this year. Next is your biggest surprise in 2020, and I am going with You Should See Me in a Crown by Leah Johnson and Allegedly by Tiffany D. Jackson. I read these like at the same time, and also they're like the most recent books I read, but I was so surprised. So for You Should See Me in a Crown, it is about a girl who wants to go to college for music, but didn't get the scholarship she was hoping for, so she can't pay for it. So her plan is to try to win prom queen, because the prom queen gets a huge scholarship or something, and that will help out. But the problem is she is not very popular. She's with like the weird group of friends. She is also Black and queer, and the prom queen has typically been like the rich white girls, and you can't bring same-sex dates. So, you know, there's all of that. But I was so surprised by this book because, you know what, I don't care about prom. I just don't care about all the high school thingy, so I just didn't think I was gonna like this. But you know what, it was so good. While there was, you know, conversations about like being in the closet and will my parents accept me and this and that, and like, you know, just problems with two girls having a relationship and all that, it had a happy ending, which is great because I get very sad when LGBT books don't have a happy ending, because a lot of times they don't. So yes, that was fantastic. And then Allegedly, on a total different whim, is about a Black girl. She is a teenager and she has been accused of killing a white baby, allegedly. I think she was much younger when this happened, but she's been growing up in a group home because of this, and it is a wild, disturbing story. I would not read it if you don't like wild, disturbing stories, because again, this is about the murder of an infant. But she has this crazy relationship with her mom, and the girls in her home try to hurt her all the time. And just to add on top of that, she gets pregnant, and authorities are going to take her baby away because she is supposedly a baby killer, and it is crazy. A lot of people said they would have given it 5 stars until the ending, like the last 5 pages, because there is a total twist ending that not everyone liked. But I didn't think it was that bad. I'll mention more in my wrap up, but I thought this was fantastic. I gave both Allegedly and You Should See Me in a Crown 5 stars because they really, really surprised me with how great they were. Next is favorite new author. Take a guess. Yes, correct. It's Alice Oseman. I'm not gonna bore you. This whole video has been why I love Alice Oseman. So yes, that is my new favorite author. Next is your newest fictional crush. I don't know. I don't, whatever. I'm gonna do more my newest favorite relationship instead, and I'm gonna go just to give you a break from Alice Oseman, because I could just go with that, but you know, I'll give you a break from me rambling about her. But I'm gonna go with the relationship in the book Felix Ever After by Casey Calendar. It is Felix, who is a queer trans Black man, and I don't know if it counts as a spoiler if I tell you who he ends up with, so I'm not, but I loved their relationship. It doesn't really, well, I love their relationship throughout the whole book. So yeah, I'm gonna use them for this question. Next is newest favorite character, and this is when I stop giving you a break from me talking about Alice Oseman. So I'm gonna say my newest favorite character, this is plural characters. I'm gonna go with Frances from Radio Silence, because she just reminded me so much of myself, just kind of, you know, neurotic and school obsessed and just wanting to be a perfectionist, and then realizing that perfection is not what gets you what you want in life. I just love that aspect so much, and I just related way too much. Like, I wasn't ready for Alice Oseman to be attacking me in this book. Like, I have felt it. But and then my other two favorite characters are going to be Nick and Charlie from Heartstopper, because again, they just broke so many stereotypes, and it felt so realistic and down to earth, and I just loved the chemistry and all of that. And I was so impressed with the way that Alice Oseman handled how they communicate and, you know, their different personalities and lifestyles. And it was so good. Spoiler alert, I really like Alice Oseman and what she writes. Next is a book that made you cry. I have a book for this. I am going to say a very limited amount on this because it contains lots of very triggering material, and just the summary I know can be triggering. So I'm gonna link the book down below, as I always do, if you do want to check it out. But I am going with Know My Name by Chanel Miller. And this is a nonfiction book. It is a memoir. And if you don't know who Chanel Miller is, maybe you are more familiar with the name Brock Turner. Brock Turner is a Stanford swimmer, and he was accused of raping a girl behind a dumpster a couple years ago. I think it was 2017. And this girl was Chanel Miller. And again, I don't want to go into detail because this was very heavy material, very hard to read, and this was her, you know, her own personal experience, her own thoughts and emotions, like, written down as she felt them. But it was definitely a hard one to read. And then on a different note, the next question is a book that made you happy. I am going with an entire series, and it's kind of a book. I am going with the Avatar: The Last Airbender comics, the graphic novels. I just watched Avatar: The Last Airbender for the first time probably a couple weeks ago. I am totally in love with it. I have not shut up about it. I talk about it on Twitter. I talk about it with my family. I've been sitting here reading all the comics. I have finished all the comics for Avatar: The Last Airbender, not Legend of Korra, but they made me so happy. I love them. I am sad that I flew through them because now I have no more to read, but they are great. Just for reference, my favorite characters in order are Iroh, and then a tie between Katara and Zuko, and then you gotta throw Appa in there somewhere. And then actually I just love all the characters, so now I'm gonna stop listing them because I just love everyone. The next question is the most beautiful book you bought this year, but I have lost them on my shelf. So you're gonna have to give me a second. They're right in front of me. So I'm going with The Weight of Zero and Sock Kill Girls. I haven't bought too many books this year, but yo, look at those, they're pretty. And lastly is, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? And I need my laptop again because I wrote a little list. I'm a mood reader, or whatever people call it. I don't know what I want to read. I have like 550 books on my to be read shelf on Goodreads, and do I ever read them? Usually not. I see a book sometimes at the library and I'll go, yeah, that's the one, and then I don't read. It's a mess. But just here are some suggestions for myself that I might read. I want to read The Rise of KYOSHI by F.C. This is a Avatar, Legend of Korra spin-off thingy, but it's like a novel. It's a YA novel, so yes, I want to read that, absolutely. And then the next books, oh yeah, I just put down books I have out from the library because hopefully I'll actually read them. They are How to Be Anti-Racist, The Silent Patient, Are You Listening, which is a graphic novel, and The Blood of Emmett Till. Again, that's certainly not all the books I want to read, but like I just kind of go with the flow. Okay, that is all the questions. That is my mid-year / actually 2-month mid-year freak out tag. I think I said mid-year twice, but yeah, that is it. And unfortunately, Gabby from Gabby's Bookish Corner beat me to it because I was gonna tag her to do this, and she tagged me first, so dang it, Gabby. But you should watch her video, and since I cannot tag her, I am tagging Sienna. She is a new booktuber. I think she started about a month ago, same time I did. She does book reviews. Her videos are great, so I'm gonna link her down below. That is it for me. Enjoy the rest of your 2020, and thanks for watching. Goodbye. I think it's about, hold on, let me look at the summary. I am not prepared.